This is Valley News Live at 6.
The Biden administration announcing today a boost in the amount of COVID-19 vaccines because of a nationwide shortage. This boost is expected to give Minnesota nearly 11,000 additional doses each week under the new allocations.
The local health officials also say your position in line for the COVID-19 vaccine could change based on an algorithm they're developing. Valley News Team's Callie Hubbard explains who's moving forward and why.
Demand for the COVID-19 vaccine remains high, while the number of doses in the valley remains low. The algorithm, or a process on who's next in line, is based on a list of people who have had COVID, compared with what the state and CDC says.
Since the vaccine remains very scarce, we need to identify even the highest of the high risks.
Meaning Sanford is sending an invitation first to those that would need to be hospitalized if they got COVID. That could include a younger person with several underlying conditions, getting the vaccine before someone who is older and healthy. Are you concerned that some people might view Sanford as picking and choosing who stays healthy? And what would you say to people who raise that issue?
Well, really the issue is the supply of the vaccine. Any vaccine in an arm is a win. We're trying to do it during in accordance with the guidelines, and I think we've been very successful doing that. We're not hoarding vaccines. We are ready to give a lot more if we could just get a larger supply. So.
Essentia Health tells us that North Dakotans 75 and older and Minnesotans 65 and older are the first to get the vaccine. People in those groups are picked randomly and being notified through MyChart and phone. Over at Sanford, Griffin says they're still vaccinating thousands of people in the 1B category. He says statewide, North Dakota is getting 10,000 vaccines a week, with Sanford expecting the numbers to be twice that or more. In Fargo, Callie Hubbard, Valley News Live.
On a separate matter, we asked health officials if they recommend double masking to further protect against the new coronavirus variant. Sanford says if you choose to, wear a medical grade mask underneath and then cover it up with a cloth mask.
Speaking of covering up, I'm not sure, but this could be the coldest weather we've experienced so far this winter. Let's check in with Hutch on how low it's going to go tonight.
Yeah, I'm expecting the coldest night of the season for many areas, and this morning was no picnic. Take a look at these wind chills as forecast between 20 and 40 below for many in the Northern Valley, where you see the dark gray hues there. It's been a cold one all day, and in fact, we're already 15 below for an actual air temperature right now in Devil's Lake, holding on to near zero or just above in the Southern Valley at this hour. Here is a look at the radar. We've had hit and miss flakes of snow from time to time in Fargo, but nothing substantial. Another night with a wind chill advisory, mainly Interstate 94, Highway 10, and points north to the international border. In Fargo tonight, we're well on our way to 5 to 10 below by 10 o'clock tonight. Overnight, brutal wind chills and the coldest weather. Well, it's going to be once again in the Northern Valley, where we'll have a few approaching you guys 25 below. So the coldest night of the season so far is on its way. We do have warmer weather to talk about and a chance for some snow. I'll update you on our first alert weather day for Saturday in just a few moments.
I'll be looking forward to the warm-up.
Me too.
All right, thanks.
New information from Clay County Public Health regarding vaccination distribution. The county is still receiving the vaccine doses on Wednesdays and then schedules clinics to distribute. Today's clinic was expected to dole out 500 doses and another 450 on Thursday. So far, over 1,000 doses have been administered. The focus is still on the 1A priority group, which is a huge group for Clay County. As schools return, another priority is having school and college students alongside athletes get tested. At-home testing is being planned for the near future. And when it comes to distribution, the doses are provided to certain people in both North Dakota and Minnesota.
The North Dakota side, the Sanford Essentia Healthcare Systems are notifying their patients that they can receive vaccine even if they live on the Minnesota side. On the Minnesota side, vaccine is being distributed through the hospital systems right now. So the clinics in Clay County that have vaccine have received that from public health.
To make it easier, officials have set up an automatic vaccine information line. You can call the number on your screen and then press 1 to see where you can get the vaccine. 2 for information involving the statewide pilot sites. Press 3 for information on Clay County Public Health vaccinations, and press 0 to speak to a nurse directly. With the new coronavirus variant being found in Minnesota, health officials continue to strongly promote social distancing. Starting Wednesday, the system will change on the Minnesota side, so distribution through hospitals may look different. As we get details, we will put them on our VNL News app.
Minnesota's governor unveiled his two-year budget proposal today. Tim Walz is calling for a 1.5% increase in income tax for those earning $1 million or more. The governor also wants to raise the corporate tax rate about 1.5%. The governor's proposal is estimated at $52.4 billion. Governor Walz says the budget impact is historic when it comes to education and the ability to continue to fight COVID-19.
If you could craft a budget where you didn't have to, or you could pretend that COVID wasn't real, it might look different. But we've seen a lot of people try and do that. We saw the last outgoing administration in D.C. do that, and now we have a situation where the United States is in worse shape from COVID and financially than almost any other state trying to respond to it.
Minnesota's state legislature must adopt a new budget before June 30th.
Fargo's police chief and the Cass County Sheriff are opposing a North Dakota House bill calling for the elimination of bond for nearly all misdemeanor offenses. Currently, misdemeanors, including simple assault, domestic violence, and eluding police, warrant an arrest and then bond payment in order to be released from jail. If an alleged offender posts bond, it is a monetary promise they will appear before a judge when scheduled. Offenders unable to post bond stay in jail until they see a judge. Under House Bill 1123, authorities say it would let the accused go free without having to post any bond, no matter their risk. We have posted the full hearing on our website, valleynewslive.com.
Critics of a bill that addresses gender in school sports says that the proposal discriminates against transgender students in North Dakota. It would prohibit public schools from allowing a person to participate on a girls' or boys' team if the person was assigned the opposite sex at birth. Representative Ben Koppelman of West Fargo sponsors the bill, and he says it would ensure fair competition for girls in sports. No action has been taken on this bill so far.
Mothers often have to breastfeed their children on the go, and many of them have been scrutinized for doing so. State lawmakers heard a bill that would penalize those who interfere with breastfeeding. House Bill 1105 allows a woman to breastfeed her baby in any location where the public is allowed to be. The bill says anyone who interferes with breastfeeding could be convicted of an infraction and fined up to $1,000. The bill also removes language that requires breastfeeding to be done in a discreet and modest manner.
If the committee would prefer there continue to be a law mandating how a baby must be breastfed in public, I respectfully ask you to clearly define exactly how discreet and modest public breastfeeding must be conducted and amend the Century Code to include it.
4 people testified in support of the bill, 2 spoke against it, and 1 person was neutral.
Newcomers to North Dakota have been caught off guard by this one before, but maybe not for much longer. A Senate committee has endorsed a bill that would change when people can buy alcoholic drinks. Senate Bill 2220 would allow Sunday alcohol sales to begin at 8 a.m. rather than noon. Minnesota's laws are like North Dakota's, so supporters are hoping this will bring people across the border for sales.
I'll tell you this, I wake up pretty early in the morning, and many times you get that call saying, hey, the fish are biting out on Black Tiger Bay. Let's get out here, grab your ice house, let's go. So you grab a buddy and maybe you just want to grab a 12-pack. Can't do it.
This is part of a series of rollbacks to the state's blue laws. In 2019, the legislature rescinded retail sales before noon on Sundays. Last week, the state Senate rejected a bill that would have allowed alcohol sales after 6 p.m. on Christmas Eve.
Later on Valley News Live at 6, 2 police departments are turning to the public for help with their cases.
Temperatures peaked today below 0 for our northern counties. We were very, very cold in the Southern Valley as well. Beautiful setting sun, a clear and cold night ahead, the coldest of the season. Your forecast details are next.